Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today for What's Next at AMEB. My name's Bernard De Pasquale and I'm the CEO of the Federal Office of AMEB. 2020 has been a changing and challenging year for us all, and as always we admire the commitment of music teachers to their profession and students to continuing to learn music regardless of the barriers they face. We're also glad to see that the lockdowns have led to a lot of people from all walks of life taking up music. Musical instrument sales have been up this year, print music sales have continued, including our own AMEB publications, I'm pleased to say. And when we offered our online theory courses to the public for no cost, we were amazed to see more than 50,000 people take up that offer. So despite everything, the health of music and music education remains strong. Well, perhaps I should say the will and desire to have music education remains stronger than ever. Today we're here to give you an update on a variety of subjects, all of which we hope will prove helpful as you plan your next 12 months of teaching or learning. My colleagues at the AMEB Federal Office will now run through the various subjects. Each presentation helped greatly by your feedback when you registered for this webinar, for which we thank you. I should let you know that the Federal Office of AMEB is based in Melbourne, so the majority of our staff are in the midst of some long-term severe personal restrictions that some of our audience will be sharing today, and others will be very glad it's not them. I got my buzz cut haircut just before the stage restrictions came into place. I know you've all been admiring that. I was a bit surprised when I came home from the barber that my wife said, "I want that haircut too," and promptly went down and lost all her golden locks. So we're sharing everything in this crisis, including the haircut. You're going to receive a lot of information today, but don't feel you need to take notes or that you'll miss something critical. We'll send you the slide pack after the show. The webinar itself will be available to watch again tomorrow on Facebook and YouTube. Please feel free to ask questions in the chat facility today and we'll endeavour to answer them for you. To begin the presentation today, first up, here is Head of Publishing, Steve Hodgson.
Thanks, Bernard, and welcome everybody. I'm here to talk you through some recent AMEB developments, as well as what's to come from the AMEB syllabus and publications team this year and into the future. Firstly, some recent developments at AMEB which you may or may not be aware of. Repertoire examinations. One of the biggest developments in AMEB examining in recent history. In 2019, AMEB released an entirely new style of examination. This was rolled out across most classical AMEB syllabuses in 2019, and across the piano for leisure, singing for leisure, and saxophone for leisure syllabuses earlier in 2020. Repertoire examinations allow candidates to submit for an AMEB qualification with repertoire requirements only. Technical ability still forms part of the criteria for these exams, so keep practicing those scales. But there are no separate technical work, general knowledge, oral and sight reading components to the repertoire exams. The instructions for the repertoire exams are found in your instrument syllabus in the Manual of Syllabuses or digital syllabus downloads. These exams introduce own choice options for repertoire and require an extra piece in comparison to the comprehensive exam in lieu of technical work, general knowledge, oral and sight reading components. The Fellowship in Music Australia. This was reintroduced in 2020 with a new application process to help guide potential candidates with regards to the expectations of this qualification. This is the highest and most prestigious award offered by AMEB and is examined by way of a public recital. It demands the highest level of excellence across all aspects of concert giving. There is an information page on the fellowship examination in the current AMEB Manual of Syllabuses, and a dedicated page online at the website on your screen. My colleague Fiona will give you a few further details on this a little later in the webinar. Theory and musicianship. In 2020, AMEB introduced new set works for grades 5 and 6 theory and musicianship, and the licentiate in musicology. Detailed AMEB sample analyses of these new grade 5 and 6 set works have been written by musicologist Simon Perry, and these are available for download. The other major development recently in AMEB theory was the release of the official AMEB theory integrated course and workbooks for grades 1, 2, and 3. Grade 4 is coming, but more information on that later. AMEB continues its partnership with Rock School, which began in 2015, delivering Rock School examinations for candidates wanting to specialise in a range of contemporary and popular styles. Rock School has syllabuses for acoustic and electric guitars, drums, bass, piano, keyboard, vocals, ukulele, music production, and popular music theory. We're very excited about the quality of the syllabuses and resources available through Rock School, and the opportunities they offer for instrumental and vocal students whose interest is not necessarily classical music. Speech and drama. AMEB's speech and drama syllabuses were revised in 2019. Speech and performance has replaced drama and performance, and a revised drama and communication syllabus has been released. Full details of these revisions can be found in the 2020 Speech and Drama Manual of Syllabuses in either the hard copy or digital download version. So what's coming from AMEB this year? We've been working hard on our November 2020 releases, now only months away, and I'd like to go through these in a little detail. Firstly, we're excited about a new set of resources for AMEB Harp. AMEB is releasing new gradebooks for preliminary to grade 4, new technical workbooks, one for preliminary to grade 4 and one for grade 5 to grade 8, a sight reading book, and completely revised manual lists for harp. This is the first revision of the harp syllabus for over 20 years, and the very first time we've produced AMEB harp publications. We've been privileged and very grateful to work with an expert team of harpists from around the country to create a syllabus that caters for both pedal and lever harps. Lower brass, we are releasing a new technical workbook for trombone and euphonium and a separate one for tuba, which will align the technical work for these syllabuses very much with the trumpet syllabus released last year. These books will contain all of the technical work needed to do a comprehensive exam, including fully notated scales, arpeggios, and technical exercises. There will no longer be a need to follow references to other books, such as the Arbin method or Blažević clef studies. We will be releasing new gradebooks for these instruments as soon as we're able, but we're aware of the problems with the current technical workbook, particularly with regards to outdated references to other technical publications. And we felt it was important to release new lower brass technical work as soon as we could. As I mentioned earlier, Theory Grade 4, continuing the series of AMEB theory books released last year, this November we will be releasing Theory Grade 4, written by AMEB theory specialist Andrew Raskins. This is an integrated course and workbook which covers all of the material in AMEB Grade 4 theory syllabus, and it's the only publication of its type to include an authentic AMEB sample examination. We hope this book will be useful to teachers and students in a variety of settings, including the school classroom, the private studio, and at home. Some other projects that we're working on and looking at releasing this year include accordion. The much awaited new accordion syllabus will be released in November. This has been in gestation for a number of years and will feature a wide range of current repertoire for the instrument. Violin was originally slated for this release this year, and we have been working hard on this. The release of the new violin syllabus, however, and Series 10 publications has been deferred to November 2021 due to COVID-19. So stay tuned for more information about this syllabus over the next year. In the Rock School world, we have a new syllabus for ukulele. This has been released by Rock School and extends all the way up to grade 8. More information is available on the Rock School website, which you'll see on your screen. Finally, the Manual of Syllabuses. The 2021 Manual of Syllabuses is scheduled for release as usual this November in both hard copy and digital formats. When AMEB releases a new syllabus, there is generally a 2-year transition period during which the old syllabus can still be used. This transition period was due to end this year for our piano syllabus. The old syllabus was originally due to be withdrawn at the end of 2020. However, due to COVID-19, we have extended this transition period by an additional 12 months. The old syllabus will now be withdrawn on the 1st of January 2022. AMEB's CPM syllabuses will be withdrawn at the end of this year. This includes bass, guitar, vocal, keyboard, and drum kit. These have been replaced by the corresponding rock school syllabuses. And speaking of rock school, the transition period for rock school piano and rock school acoustic guitar ends at the end of this year. The old versions of these rock school syllabuses will be withdrawn as of January the 1st, 2021. So what's on the horizon? What are we looking at in the next few years to come? Firstly, violin. As mentioned earlier, the release of the new AMEB violin syllabus has been deferred to November 2021. This will include a new syllabus, new grade books from preliminary to grade 7, new technical workbooks, sight reading, handbooks, recorded accompaniments, and sample recordings of every piece in the grade books. So stay tuned for more information on that in the coming year. Piano for Leisure. We're continuing our review of the Piano for Leisure technical work with the aim of aligning it with the new piano technical work. This new Piano for Leisure technical work is scheduled for release in November 2021. We're also starting work on a number of projects, including horn, viola, AMEB teaching syllabuses, and our ensemble syllabuses. We'll keep you up to date on these throughout the year. So we've certainly been busy in the AMEB publishing and syllabus development team. I'd now like to hand over to Fiona Sears, our head of examining, to give you an update on examination matters.
Great, thank you, Steve. It's great to hear all of the exciting syllabus news. Hi, everyone. I will be talking about the options that are available to you in terms of exams. So once you've chosen your instrument and syllabus, you have several options to choose from. I'll start with the exam formats that are currently available. As you will be aware, the pandemic has changed the way we offer some exams, and there are some new options for you to consider. Face-to-face exams are currently available or will soon be available in all states. This is, of course, determined by coronavirus restrictions, and in all cases, your safety is a priority in the way these exams are managed. Video repertoire exams are currently available in all states, including the new For Leisure repertoire exams. And please check your state office website for the latest details on exam options, enrolment deadlines, and other requirements, as they do vary from state to state. As I mentioned just before, video exams are now available nationally for repertoire exams. So candidates can prepare their pieces, record a video at home or at school or at a studio, and submit it for examining. Many teachers and candidates have already gone for this option, which is great. We have guidelines available to help you with the recording process, and you can find these on your state website. Following these guidelines will help you get the best results from your video exam and provide the examiners with what they need in order to assess it. We've also created a handy video that explains in detail how to record your video exam. It talks through lighting and audio and what works best, recording equipment options, and in fact using an iPhone or an iPad is absolutely fine, how to best frame the picture so the examiner can see what they need to see, and of course the content requirements. The video also contains a sample grade 3 violin repertoire exam, which was recorded in a home studio and on an iPhone, so it gives you a really good idea. There are some general points that I'd like to make about video exams, some of which will hopefully answer questions that we received before the webinar. Firstly, the video must be recorded in one take, as if you've just walked into the exam room and are performing to an examiner. Please note that examiners will give due consideration to the fact that this is a video exam and not a live exam. It's important that you all know that the examiner will only watch the video once. This way it does replicate a live exam as closely as possible. They won't go back and listen to sections over and over again. I'm pleased to let you know that video exams will continue to be available while COVID restrictions are in place. To stay in touch with the latest information on video exams, please visit your state office website to check the latest exam options, enrolment deadlines, and any other specific requirements. So a lot of people have asked us about accompaniments for video exams, and there are a few options available for you. If it's safe for you to do so, you're welcome to have a live accompanist come to your home or studio to play for the exam. A member of your family, of course, would work well, as long as it doesn't break any COVID-19 restrictions currently in place in your state. Alternatively, you can use an AMEB recorded accompaniment, and these are available up to grade 3 in most instruments. Please note that you may adjust the tempo of any AMEB recorded accompaniment using an app of your choice, and there are a few available. My Tempo is one of the apps that we would suggest. Where there are no AMEB accompaniments available, you may engage an accompanist to provide an audio recording for you, or there are some commercially available recordings too. Right, back to face-to-face practical exams, and there are a few choices I wanted to run through, and please note these apply beyond the pandemic as well. As Steve mentioned earlier, for most instruments you can now choose between a comprehensive exam and a repertoire exam. For a comprehensive exam, candidates must present their pieces, including any extra list requirements, and their technical work. They will be given oral tests, sight reading, and general knowledge questions by the examiner. The second choice is to sit a repertoire exam, which is pieces only. One additional piece is required to replace the technical work and the other elements. As I mentioned earlier, repertoire exams are currently available as video exams as well as face-to-face. Please note that the certificate the candidate receives will show either comprehensive or repertoire, but the level of qualification is the same for both options. Moving on to our contemporary syllabus, Rock School, there are a few exam options available at the moment. Grade exams are similar to comprehensive exams, so the candidate performs 3 pieces, technical exercises, and the unseen tests. These are currently only available as face-to-face exams. Performance certificates are similar to repertoire exams. 5 pieces are required, but none of the other elements. And these are available as both face-to-face and video exams. Another qualification that has been introduced during the pandemic is the graded certificate video exam. It's a hybrid of the 2 previous exams I just mentioned. The candidate presents 3 pieces and all of the technical work listed in the grade book. These exams are only available as video exams at the moment. Band exams are another interesting offering from Rock School. They are available as repertoire-only exams at grade 3, 5, and 8. For drums, bass, and guitar, and piano can be added as well. So if you have students learning those instruments, the repertoire matches at those grade levels, and they can present themselves at the exam as a band. I would like to mention that it's a great idea to check the Rock School website for further information, particularly on things such as free choice pieces. There are some guidelines that you can download for each instrument, backing tracks, and these come as audio files with your grade book, and the rules around transpositions, these are especially relevant for vocalists. You'll also find information on what equipment that you need to bring to the exams. All the Rock School syllabuses are available as free downloads from the website. Okay, speech and drama exams. I'm not going to read through all of this slide, but I'd like to highlight that we have 3 syllabuses on offer to candidates. These are traditionally face-to-face exams, but please check with your state office for any COVID-related changes. All 3 syllabuses include a performance element, whether that be reading prose or presenting a group drama performance. And depending on the syllabus, the exam can be taken by individuals or by groups. Discussion with the examiner is a key part of all speech and drama exams. I wanted to highlight a fairly new option that is available for our piano candidates. When enrolling for a comprehensive exam, you can choose between either a solo exam, which is the standard comprehensive exam I explained earlier, or a collaborative exam, where you can demonstrate your skills as a collaborative artist. These become an option from grade 5 up, And the options are either to perform as a piano duet or to play with an associate artist on violin, flute, or clarinet. And just a quick mention of our awesome P-Plate piano exams. These are non-assessed recitals where the students can bring their parent or teacher into the exam room. All candidates come out with a certificate, which is given to them on the day of the exam. There are 3 levels, which lead up to preliminary. And if a candidate achieves all 3 levels, they get a cute little license card to mark their achievement. Moving now to our theory exams. Of course, we have our online theory exams, which Robert will talk about shortly. We also have paper-based theory exams available for theory of music grades 1 to 6. And these are now available on an on-application basis throughout the year. There are certain requirements and conditions that need to be met, such as minimum numbers. So please visit your state office website for full details. Diplomas in theory, musicianship, and speech and drama are also available on application to your state office throughout the year. We also offer contemporary theory exams on the Rock School Popular Music Theory syllabus. These are currently paper-based exams, but online exams are coming next year. Rock School Music Production is examined online, and the exam includes listening tests, short answer questions, and the candidates upload their coursework practical element in the form of an audio file. And just a quick mention of the new Performance Arts Awards exams in musical theatre and dance, which were introduced this year, but Michelle will talk about these in more detail later in the webinar. And to finish up on the examining section, I'd like to briefly let you know about the new process for entering for a fellowship exam, our highest level of qualification. There are 3 steps to enter. In step 1, the candidate submits their program to be approved by the chief examiner. Once approved, they can move to step 2, for which the candidate records a video of their full program, and this is reviewed by a panel of examiners. If this is approved, candidates can then move to step 3, which is to enrol for a fellowship exam at their state office. The exam is a live recital performance in front of an audience, which is assessed by a panel of examiners. So that's it from me. Thank you very much, and I will now hand you over to Robert.
Thanks, Fiona, and hello to everyone. I'll provide a brief update today on what's new across AMEB's digital and online services. We've been working hard in recent years to improve the online learning experience for our customers, and it just so happens that many of our products have been quite popular throughout 2020, as most teachers and students have spent at least some time learning and teaching remotely. I'm sure there's plenty of people nodding out there right now. Our online courses offer an interactive way for candidates to learn music theory. We provide video lessons, downloadable course material, and candidates can complete test questions at the end of each lesson and receive an immediate result. And we currently provide online courses for theory of music grades 1, 2, and 3. We're conscious that home learning is going to continue across the country in one way or another for some time yet. So as of the 1st of July this year, we reduced the prices of our online theory courses quite substantially. A 1-year subscription to a grade 1 online course is now only $29.95, and the other prices are there on your screen. As Stephen Hodgson and I think Fiona also mentioned earlier, we're pleased to be releasing a new Theory of Music workbook later this year, and to complement it, we'll also release a new grade 4 Theory of Music online course, and there'll be further announcements about this later in the year as well. To create flexibility in the way we offer our online courses, we've enabled a browser version of our software. So this means that instead of downloading and installing software to access the course test questions that come at the end of each lesson, users can now directly access this content via their browser. They'll also be able to use tablets, smartphones, and Surface Pro type devices for all AMEB Theory of Music courses. And that has already been implemented, and that's working quite effectively right now. To our online theory exams, and we've created a feature that enables customers to purchase extensions for their online theory exams from within our online system. It sometimes happens that a candidate isn't able to complete their exam before the 12-month expiry date, but a 28-day extension can now be purchased from directly within the system for only $10. Once the exam becomes within 30 days of its expiry date, the option to purchase the exam extension is available. It becomes available, and there's no limit to the number of extensions that can be purchased, and they become effective immediately upon making the purchase. So it can be done outside of office hours, and it can be done at a time of convenience to the account holder or to the candidate. I mentioned a moment ago that our online courses can now be accessed via a browser, and I'm happy to say that in the months ahead, we'll also be making this feature available to our online theory exams. So again, this means that candidates can take their practice exams or even sit their official exams on any device, including tablets or even smartphones if they're particularly game. For schools, this means there'll no longer be any requirement to regularly update software across their numerous computers. So all each computer is going to need is a reliable internet connection, and they'll have access to all of the features within our system. Earlier this year, we also released an online speech and performance exam for grade 7 only at this stage. This has been really well received, and we're currently developing online speech and performance exams for other grades, with grade 1 due for release before the end of this year. We're also working on our Teacher Resource Centre, which will become available to teachers and account holders via the exam platform. And this centre will provide various resources to teachers so that they can better prepare their candidates for online exams and gain a better understanding of how some of the more complex questions might be graded within our system. And finally, to Scale Helper. So earlier this year, we partnered with Amazon to deliver our very own Amazon Alexa skill. And for those wondering what all of this means, the Amazon Alexa is a virtual home assistant, and a skill is like an app, but exclusive to Amazon devices. And there's a picture of the Amazon Alexa on the screen at the moment for you to have a look at. It's the little black disc at the bottom there. We've developed and released a skill called Scale Helper, which helps students to master their scales in a fun and interactive way. So users can simply ask Scale Helper for a scale or arpeggio. They'll set their speed and they can practice along with Alexa. And the skill is free to enable, and it can be accessed on any Alexa device. And for more information about Scale Helper, people are welcome to visit our website where there's more information. We'll continue to improve the quality and range of our online products, but for now, to explain Performance Arts Awards, I introduce AMEB's State Manager in Tasmania, Michelle Forbes.
Thanks, Rob, for the introduction, and hello everyone. My name is Michelle Forbes and I'm very excited to be talking to you today about our Performance Arts Awards. Also known as PAA, this syllabus offers graded group exams in musical theatre, street dance and jazz dance. Now, a lot of you viewing will probably be music teachers, but keep in mind your drama and dance colleagues and perhaps the additional kudos this could give to your next annual musical. You know about our AMEB relationship with Rock School. Well, PAA is another of their syllabuses that we're now presenting in Australia. So it comes from the same great team of experts and provides students with international qualifications. Other than being predominantly dance syllabuses, the difference between PAA exams and our regular AMEB exams is that the examiner comes to your school or studio and assesses group performances. These group performances can include a mix of grades to suit the varying stages of development across your cohort. And while the exam is in group format, these are exams for the individuals within the groups, not an ensemble assessment. So each candidate receives personalised feedback. We know how valuable AMEB qualifications are, and particularly the potential bonus credit towards school certificates and ATAR points. So we're very excited to be able to offer that opportunity to a wider pool of learners through expanding our syllabuses into the world of dance. Let's start having a look at the actual syllabuses, and let's start here with musical theatre. A lot of you will be wondering how different this might be to our existing AMEB syllabus that's already available. Well, these actually work really well in tandem. The existing AMEB musical theatre syllabus supports vocal development, characterisation and vocal technique in the various styles unique to the genre. PAA covers the contextual stage skills and includes assessment of singing plus acting plus dancing, otherwise known as the triple threat. This is ideal for school musical productions. The examiner can attend a dress rehearsal and all your cast could receive a qualification. If you get in early enough in your rehearsal process, the report can provide additional tips to improve the performances. The format of the performance can be a full production, a review style performance, or your own invention. There are terrific resources with collections of suggested works for each grade. Moving on to dance, there are 2 streams available here. The jazz dance syllabus develops students in the original Fosse style of jazz dance. Street dance encompasses the 3 essential elements of hip hop: locking, house, and breaking, with popping added from grade 4. As with our other syllabuses, and similar to other dance boards such as RAD, Shiketti, and so on, these syllabuses include both technical skill development and performance dance sections. All content and accompanying tracks are free from the website. Yes, free. There are also supporting demos for each set technical work from entry to grade 8 and free download music for freestyle sections. Let's have a quick look at an example from the grade 4 syllabus.
Of a zebra, built like steel, slight weakness for divas, crying like a soldier, 100.
So how does the exam process actually work? You already know the examiner comes to you. There are some other elements such as numbers on costumes, hair out of face, and so on, as well as a few venue requirements to ensure the examiner and your students are safe and able to perform at their best. The 2 exam section elements are examined separately. The performance could be a dress rehearsal or put on specifically for the exam. The examiner will need to be able to ask for sections to be repeated if they're not able to assess all members of the group the first time. The technical skills are assessed separately, including improv from level 2 upwards. This portion is rounded off with one-on-one discussions regarding reflection and understanding of the skills presented and the artistic process. With musical theatre, the performance will usually be held first, whereas dance begins with the technical work. If that's not enough already, let's have a look at what the benefits of PAA actually are for you. Did I mention the examiner comes to you? Dance teachers especially will appreciate that there are no registration fees. You do not need to be accredited by us to be able to deliver these syllabuses. Once you've familiarised yourself with the syllabus, you can begin teaching straight away. The syllabuses are free downloads, and the only cost we charge is the exam fee for your students. The resources are also free. There are suggested tracks and repertoire, video demonstrations, technical walkthroughs, and of course the syllabus itself, which outlines uniform requirements, recommended ages, exam components, assessment structure, and the techniques accessible. The content is really flexible. You can follow the resources provided to get yourself set up, or you can curate something of your own. The various grades assessed together and the group nature of the performance preparing for exams will help you cultivate an inclusive and positive learning experience for your students. Candidates receive a report that is broken down into technical and performance for each of the assessment areas. This provides really clear and specific feedback for them to keep working on various areas of their development. So now all your dance friends can be part of AMEB too. I'll just round off with a couple of fun facts. We are still seeking examiners in some states across all 3 disciplines, in particular South Australia, Western Australia, Tasmania, and New Zealand. If you want to be involved or find out what we're looking for, contact our federal office for a chat or to submit an expression of interest. Our federal office will be looking after these exams along with our national pool of specialist examiners, so get in touch to enrol. If you're in Victoria, please get in touch with your state office directly. And to round off today's presentation, I'd like to throw to our Marketing and Sales Manager, Jeff Higgins, to share insights and exciting projects from across his team.
Thank you, Michelle, and hello to everybody. I've been following the chat through the whole webinar. It's been very interesting indeed. So we heard earlier from Steve Hodgson, our head of publishing, on a new syllabus for harp and new technical workbooks for lower brass and the release of the grade 4 theory book. For each of these events, we will have a launch, an online launch. And if you received an invite for this webinar, then you're very much on our webinar list. So watch out for the invite coming through. In November, Tuesday, November the 17th, 1 p.m., we will have Steve Hodgson talking to Alice Giles, who was the principal consultant on the harp syllabus, at 1 p.m. That'll be followed the following Tuesday, 24th, by Steve talking to Greg Aitken, who is the lower brass specialist, and that'll be at 1 o'clock as well. Into December the 1st, we will have our AMEB theory specialist, Andrew Racekins, talking to Fiona Sears about the new grade 4 theory book. So keep an eye out for those invites coming through. After a break for 2020, we will have the AMEB online orchestra, just waiting for the slide to change. There we go, with a few exciting changes. The AMEB Online Orchestra, of course, is for musicians of all abilities who can get involved in Australia's largest virtual orchestra. Performers download a score and click track, practice and record their performance, then send it to us so we can put it into the final online orchestra video. So the changes this year, which are quite exciting, is that the song we'll all perform is called Morning Star and Evening Star. This is an original song recreated from the story told by Kombumerri Noogie elder Lottie Eaton. The song was composed by Yugambeh songwoman Candice Kruger, Lan Lavinge and Isabel Kruger, who are all passionate about keeping Indigenous language alive through song. The lyrics will be in English and Yugambeh language. There will also be teacher resource packs that align with the National Arts curriculum. They'll be available next year, so the teachers can actually integrate this project into their classrooms at any level. We'll look forward to sharing more information about this with you on October the 1st, when we'll have a launch. Keep an eye out on our social media pages and e-news for that invitation. So what else can I tell you about? Exciting news is that we will have a new AMEB Federal Office website, a new upgraded site, which we'll launch in January 2021. That'll also include a new AMEB online shop. One page that I can send you to right now is a page on our current website called We Are Here to Help, which contains resources for online teaching and learning for teachers, students and parents. You can also look out next year for live online workshops for the harp syllabus, lower brass and grade 4 theory. Once again, you'll get an invite to those, and just keep an eye out. So how do you keep in touch with us? Well, we're on everything. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and LinkedIn. The AMEB e-news is also sent out every 2 weeks, and you can subscribe in the link in the chat right now if you need to or want to. Finally, we have a slide here with all the details of all the state offices. We've mentioned a few times, please check with your state office. So there are the contacts for you there. At the start of this webinar, we said that you'll be able to download tomorrow the complete slide presentation and all the information at hand. And this webinar also will be available to watch on YouTube and Facebook tomorrow. We'll send you a link to all of that as well. So thanks for joining us today. It's been a pleasure having you with us, and terrific for us to share as much information with you as we could today. Thanks very much.